Hi guys, thanks for clicking on the video. Beautiful, beautiful day here in Lithuania. Saturday, May 23rd. I hope everybody has a nice holiday weekend and good weather for your picnic or your cookout. Starting to be summer-like here in Lithuania. Just got finished cutting the grass. Doesn't look too bad from a distance. Don't look too close. But things are coming right along. If you guys remember from, I think it was last fall, we just put this in last summer. It's called a Colorado fir, and it made it through the winter. I was a little worried with the winter we had, but clearly it is growing and getting new shoots. Hi everyone. It is that time of year, actually a little bit late this year. I should have been doing this about a week or two ago, but harvesting spruce tips to make spruce tip syrup. Generally, you're supposed to kind of leave the very end spruce tip to allow the branch to grow, but just take the side ones. There's no science to it, really. You're not going to hurt the tree if you take the end ones. The branch won't get any longer this year. Next year it'll try again, but it's just a matter of picking a good batch of them. I'm going to hopefully get I don't think I'll get maybe a half of a kilo or about a pound, maybe a little more. We'll see how it goes, but plenty to pick. And you want to get them when they're just right. These aren't quite far enough along, so those aren't quite ready. These are almost a bit too far along. There's a bit of pollen, but these are just about perfect. They've just kind of broken loose. They're still tender, and these ones are about perfect. I'll try to get a majority of these. So once you've gathered all of your spruce tips, you might want to rinse them off, make sure there's no dirt or other debris on them. And it's just a simple matter of mixing equal portions of brown sugar and spruce tips. In this case, we didn't actually have brown sugar at home here. We had white sugar, and my wife mixed in some molasses to create brown sugar. But it's just a matter of mixing equal portions of each. And then you just want to put it into a sealed jar. Most people just layer it with the spruce tips and the sugar in layers. However, as you can clearly see here, my wife has decided to give it a few pulses in the food processor. It just kind of condenses everything down. Should be better to strain it later. But basically you just need to let it sit in a nice warm place for about 3 weeks to a month. You can check it. And after that time, you just strain it, and what you're left with is delicious spruce tip syrup. I'll keep you posted. And here's a couple of clips of us getting our potatoes planted and showing the nice little setup we've got with this little plow hooked to the winch on the ATV. It works great, enables us to pull that plow through slowly in a straight line, and it's no work at all for the person on the plow end. This old apple tree might not be much to look at the other 51 weeks out of the year, but for about 1 week out of the year, it is about the most beautiful thing you can set eyes on. Just look at all of those blossoms, just absolutely full of blossoms. Beautiful day here in Lithuania. This old apple tree, and I've mentioned it in other videos, but we had a landscaper here, or a horticulturist at one point in time, and they estimated this apple tree is 100 years old. I don't know if it's quite that old, but it is an old, huge apple tree, and you can see it's still doing great. And if you could smell the blossoms, you'd be amazed. Can't really zoom in, the sun's not shining right here right now, but later on today this thing will be buzzing with honeybees. Wonderful thing. Hi everyone, and as you can see, a lot of big changes here in the greenhouse. My wife was able to get the remainder of the tomato and pepper plants in. There's a few basil in there for good measure. A few indoor cucumbers, or greenhouse cucumbers as we call them. We've got quite the variety of tomatoes this year. I'll keep you posted on that as they get bigger. Still got a few salad greens here we're working on. Those will be popping up outside anytime soon. And these are, I think, zucchinis. I'm not positive. They still need to get put in outside. And moving outside, things are cranking right along with the strawberries. As you can see, lots of blossoms. In fact, if you look hard enough, there are a few berries in there, very small. Certainly won't be harvesting anything for several weeks yet, maybe late June, but we've got summer garlic, not winter garlic, but summer garlic coming up. Some salad greens, parsley, a few more radishes starting outside. We still have some empty areas in a couple of the boxes, not sure what we're going to do with yet, but we'll fill that in with something. Got some beets going on, a bunch of onions, white and red, a couple rows of carrots, obviously not popping up yet, but will be soon. And our peas are coming up nicely, not quite tall enough to grab onto the fence quite yet, but they will be soon. We've got a few extra onions out here, just in a spot. We had some extra bulbs. And in a separate clip, we did get our potatoes in, so that was a good thing. We still have to get outside cucumbers planted and a few other odds and ends. And here's our second box of strawberries. This will be the first year for these plants. That previous box that I had showed you, that'll be the second year for those plants. So we should have quite a few more strawberries this year than we did last year. Currants still doing great. Still getting an awful lot of asparagus. We're not sick of it yet. We're eating it every day, giving it quite a bit away. And our high bush blueberries, or shallowgas, cranking right along. I just watered today. They're a very thirsty plant. And various other herbs and salads coming along nicely. And here are the more domesticated apple trees in our yard. You can see we're getting an awful lot of blossoms. This will be like the 4th or 5th year for these trees, and to be honest with you, we really haven't gotten a lot of apples off of them yet. It takes a few years, but fingers crossed for this year. As you can see on this plant, or on this tree, not a whole lot going on with blossoms, so I'm not sure what's going on, but we do have hope for this one. And I'll leave you guys with a few trail cam videos, mostly deer. I think there's a couple of clips of fox in there, but I think it goes on for 2 or 3 minutes or so. But you might notice a few interesting things with the deer. Obviously, at initial glance, it might look like it's the same couple of deer, but if you look more closely, there are definitely several different deer. Especially when you look at the males, you can see the different horns. This is all within, I think, a 2-week span of time. Some of them are still in velvet, some of them aren't. And you can also notice a couple of the females are obviously pregnant. I think that's later towards the end. But the last thing to take note of is the transition of their fur from that winter gray fur to the summer red fur. Some of them are kind of midway through that transition, so they look a little scruffy, but thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.